So John Miller, whose wife took her own life, and I believe it was on the 27th of April, after she spoke out about alleged abuse within her marriage, John Miller was relieved of his pastoral functions. But again, when you see this guy, and I'm going to show some of his sermon, this guy's a nutcase. I don't know how anyone could go to this church with this guy preaching to you. Pastor John Miller, who's 44 years old, was released from his duties at Solid Rock at Market Common Church in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. His wife, Micah Miller, was found dead at Lumbee River State Park in North Carolina on April 27th from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. An email that was received from one of the news stations by Charles Randall, the authority vested me as an overseer, hereby release Pastor John Paul Miller from all his ministerial functions for a time of healing, counsel, and guidance pursuant to our governing instrument. Weeks before her passing, she shared a video speaking about abuse within the marriage as claims emerged she was being harassed and was afraid for her life. One of the things that I just found out, Pastor Miller, who has a criminal record including multiple counts of aggravated assault and battery to which he pled guilty, told his congregation that her death was self-induced. You all know she wasn't well mentally and that she needed her medicine and it was hard to get to her, he said. That is so outrageous. First of all, if someone needs medicine, why would a guy who's stalking her be the one to deliver it to her? You know, like this guy's just, everything he says is an out and out lie. You know, first of all, she needed medication. She should just be able to go to the pharmacy and get it, not through you dope, you know?
Billy, when you look at him, you look at the age difference between him and Micah, it's 14 years. You realize they were married for a few years. You come to realize that he was a control freak from my point of view. From the time that she was a young lady to her demise. And I feel that she probably realized towards the end, because they were having, they were actually she was actually filing for divorce. She'd seen attorneys. And I think she probably realized towards the end that there was no way that she was ever going to get anything out of this guy. Any sort of compensation, any sort of money for the property and things like that. I think they had signed at one point a post-nup where she actually gave up any future claims. So therefore, I think she really had nowhere to go. I think she realized she'd been isolated from her family for a while and that she really was under control of him in the church. And he was, pretty inappropriate with the way he even talked about her to the congregation. And if, any of the allegations that she had made to the police maybe had been investigated, I'm assuming that they were all fairly accurate, that he'd been lucky to escape criminal charges on all of those allegations. But he is a narcissistic person, a control freak. He's got the cloth that he's hiding behind, and that gives him some legitimacy. And unfortunately, I just think she really was at the end of her rope. She had nowhere else to go, and maybe she didn't realize that she could maybe go back to her family, but she saw that she had no way out, and therefore she ends up, taking her own life. And that's really sad because this guy was inappropriate you're pointing it out, on so many levels, personal, professional, talking about his wife, this sort of thing. It's really disconcerting. And it's led to this tragic demise. And we can only hope that there are some sort of legal ramifications for him. We'll see.
Passionate one for the truth. He is the one mentally sicko. Did you see the video of him laying on the ground crying about medication he was on? Ugh, he was sickening. Passionate one for the truth. I did see that. And when you watch that, and then you watch him have the nerve to disparage his wife, and he trying to convince her And it's all a control thing that she has mental. He's the one that committed her for 2 days into a mental hospital.
That's true.
And I mean, outrageous. And this guy is just unbelievable. Juanita Phelps. How could anyone have been going to his church? Well, here's a clue. Maybe he had his congregation brainwashed as well. We don't know what all he has done to people mentally. Juanita Phelps, you know something? You know, I don't know how to say this sometimes because I really don't want to offend people that really are in religion for the right reasons. But I think certain religions brainwash people. I absolutely believe that. And they control you. And it's all about control. And a lot of the control is about one thing: dead presidents on green pieces of paper. They want your money. That's what it's all about, you know. And then we find out that this guy's got a plane. Someone's saying that he may own a bar. I mean, they should look deep into this. And that's one of the reasons I rail about this too, is that I think all religions should have to pay taxes. Because when they don't, they start doing the fugaziness with all their money, and they make more money than anyone could make, and they don't have to pay taxes on it. How could you miss when you don't have to pay taxes? Just absolutely outrageous.